Welcome back. This morning, the case of the pro-Palestinian protester who ICE detained for months lands in an appeals court in Philadelphia. Now, you may remember agents took Mahmoud Khalil into custody at his New York City apartment back in March. The Secretary of State determined he posed, quote, adverse foreign policy consequences, end quote, because of his role in demonstrations at Columbia University, and they ordered his deportation. Khalil denied accusations of hate speech. Well, the judge ordered Khalil's release back in June, but today his lawyers will ask the court to affirm rulings from lower courts which found the reasons for his arrest and attempted deportation were likely unconstitutional. CBS News legal reporter Katrina Kaufman followed every twist and turn of this case and joins us now with the latest. Good morning, Katrina. Great to have you back. So what should we expect from each side as they make arguments today?
Yeah. Good morning, Errol. So what the government wants here is they want to be able to re-detain Mahmoud Khalil and begin to proceed with his deportation from the country. As you mentioned, the ACLU wants these lower court determinations to be affirmed, that Khalil should be released on bail, and that it was likely unconstitutional for Secretary of State Marco Rubio to use this little-known provision to determine that he was adverse to U.S. foreign policy interest here in this country. Something that we're likely to hear about during arguments is something called the now or never principle. And essentially, it's, does this claim need to be brought now? Could there be meaningful relief later? What the ACLU says is that Khalil is being censored and that if this was brought later, that censorship would have already happened.
Now, you touched on this a little bit, but Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, used the Immigration and Nationality Act as the basis for Khalil's potential deportation. Remind us what that is and how it plays into the arguments.
Yes, so essentially what Secretary of State Marco Rubio determined is that Mahmoud Khalil's presence in this country is adverse to U.S. foreign policy interests, that his leadership and participation in those pro-Palestinian protests on Columbia's campus helped to facilitate the spread of anti-Semitism here in the United States. The administration also early on alleged that he had ties to Hamas, that he was handing out pro-Hamas flyers on campus. There was never evidence of that shown in court. And what the judge in the lower court said is that it was likely unconstitutional to apply this based on Khalil's protected speech. Because really at the heart of this, Errol, is this tie between, is there executive authority here that should really surpass this decision, or is this about First Amendment rights? What the ACLU says is that Mahmoud Khalil has this right to free speech and that this provision should not have been applied on that basis.
Which is why there's so much attention on this case because of the potential precedent. Just in the last few seconds, he's not the only protester who was targeted for potential deportation.
Absolutely, yes. There's been a number of protesters targeted. And a key question here, too, is does this have to proceed in immigration court first, or can this even be in federal court? What the government says, Errol, is that this should really go through the immigration court system first before we even land in federal court for these hearings.
So a lot of big questions to answer. Katrina, thanks so much.
Thank you.